Good morning everybody, it's Ed from Adventure Motor Vehicles. Now it's the end of the week, the sun's shining, it's blue sky, it's been a wonderful week. And I was just looking at my wonderful little Royal Enfield there. It's been sat there all winter, and I think I may be taking it out for a ride later on, which I'm really looking forward to. But I'm not here to talk about Royal Enfields. Today we've got another really busy day. We've got two customers coming up from the south, from the London area. And we actually have a lot of customers from the south who come to us because they're looking for a vehicle that they can use every day if required, but can also take to the Yorkshire Dales, Lake District, Scotland on excursions, and can live in it for a few days. And I've got one in this week. We've got one in this week, which is a really good example of just how adaptable our AMV D5s are. Now, this black D5 we prepared about 3 years ago now. I'll pop a picture up on the screen of how it looks when the roof's down. And as you can see, it looks just like a normal D5. Well, I say normal, but of course it's an AMV D5, so it has some wonderful little highlights, which I'll show you shortly. But the key thing is, inside, this is now a 4-stroke 5-seater. So you've got the two, obviously the driver's seat, passenger seat, and we've taken the mid-row out completely. And you've got two rear seats, which obviously fold up and down. As you can see, I've got one folded down behind me, and this one's folded up. And then if I just turn the camera, move the camera, you can see the passenger seat there is on a seat spinner. Now we've got a seat spinner on the passenger seat and the driver's seat. So in the middle, you've got a fantastic living area, which is the beauty of the D5, because it's a relatively compact vehicle, but it's so adaptable. You can make it how you want it. And that's really the key thing about these AMV D5s. When you're looking at conversion, you can do as little or as much as you want. We have a long options list. You can pick and choose what you want, depending on how you're going to use the vehicle. Because, I've spoken to many people over the years who've come to buy a D5, and they've had camper vans in the past, large camper vans, medium camper vans. And one of the difficulties is you buy a camper van sort of off the shelf, for want of a better expression. But the problem is, it'll have lots of goodies on it, which often people don't use. You don't use them. So you're paying for things you're not using. And these people have often told me that when they've been on an adventure somewhere, they often keep it really simple. They'll say to me, "Look, Ed, we've got a full kitchen, we've got everything in this vehicle that they've bought, a full camper, and actually they've taken a single gas stove, barbecue. They've ended up eating outside the vehicle." And I think nowadays people like to keep it simple, and often that's the best way. So with our D5s, you can pick and choose what you want. So this one has a leisure battery, as you can see in the corner here. Now we've just moved that. That was in the centre between the two mid-row seats, but the customer wanted us to move it to the rear, which we've done, because he's gonna create his own sort of living area there. You've got a 240-volt hookup down here. So if I just sit here and move the camera a little bit, you can see this section here. What we've done is we've built in this section here. So you've got your two sockets, for the 240-volt appliances, USB 12-volt socket, and then of course up here you've got the elevating roof. And in the elevator, you can just see one there. In the elevating roof, there are two LED lights, and you've got 4. So behind me there, you've 2 lights there, and then on this side as well, you've got another 2 lights. So we've actually got 6 lights, all running off a leisure battery. We've got a full curtain set, which we fitted. So this one we did about 3 years ago, prepared about 3 years ago. So full curtain set, blackout pads. This one's also got a solar panel. So it just keeps the leisure, when you're off the beaten track, it just keeps the leisure battery topped up. And then if we go around the front, so we've also got a table. I'll just move around. There we go, so you can see that. Can you see that? Okay. So we've actually built a new center console in here. So the original center console is too high when you fit seat spinners. So we built a new center console with a USB connected to the leisure battery. And this table's wonderful because, as you can see, it moves around. So if you sat on the driver's seat, if you're on the seat spin on the driver's seat, you can use it, and obviously you can use it on the passenger seat. And it's great because you sit on the passenger seat, having your fish and chips by the coast, and there you go. And then you can have somebody sat in the back, and you've got this great living space. So yeah, it's what we would really call, I think, like a halfway house, where you can use this D5 as an everyday vehicle. You're not losing the original sort of practicality of the vehicle as it came out of the factory. But it's got the space now, adaptability for camping. And I think that's the thing to always bear in mind when you're looking at conversion. The full conversions are fantastic, obviously, you know, they really are. But there's always a compromise. And when you do a full conversion and you've got all the units down one side, slider bed, obviously you lose some of that practicality that the D5 is all about. So for a lot of people, this type of conversion is ideal. And then of course, you know, we can add a diesel heater if you're using it through the winter months, and so on and so forth. In addition to the lighting in there, we also have got a little switch here. We've got lights. There we go. Morning. We've got lights. Yeah, thanks a lot. We've got lights in the tailgate. So the beauty is, if you're in the middle of nowhere, it's pitch black. You put your little table out here for cooking, and you've got light. So there you go. So this is a really, really great example of a sort of day van Delica D5. And so what else has this D5 got that makes it rather special? Well, some of you with an eagle eye may have spotted that the roof we painted, not in black, but it's in a 75 grey. And the reason we did that was because the wheels we refurbished in grey, and we decided with the customer that we wanted the roof to match. And that's the beauty of preparing these D5s in the A&B way. We can do whatever is required to make them a little bit bespoke. So there won't be another one that looks like this in the country. Then we've wrapped the wing mirrors. So we've got black wing mirrors, also the grille. So it's just those little touches which make it a little bit special. Now the other thing this one's got is a solar panel on the roof there, which some of you have already spotted. And we've got a little rail here, a C-rail, which means this customer can put a canopy on. And the canopies you buy come out quite a long way. So there you go. We've got a tow bar, which we fitted at the same time, large mud flaps, aftermarket mud flaps, and an upgraded stereo with built-in navigation. So lots of features on this one make it that little bit special. You know, I always enjoy talking about the D5 and what's possible, and it's very much a lifestyle choice. You know, buying an A&B D5, it's not about it's not just a vehicle to get you from A to B, it's a lifestyle choice. People get excited about it. I get excited about it. Because you can keep them forever. That's the thing. And they're so usable, so adaptable. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And then after that, I'm going to take my little Royal Enfield out for a little excursion. Anyway, that's it from me for today. I hope you have a great weekend. The weather's looking good. I'm back in tomorrow, but I think then I'll be doing a little bit of gardening this weekend. So have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week. All the best. Cheers.